Hey everyone, Stalker 2 is out and has had a bit of a rough start on quite a lot of the handhelds, but not for the ROG Ally X. It's actually running spectacularly well here, and we're going to show you some of the footage on medium settings with frame generation, as this is definitely the best way to play this with a couple of tweaks. What you're seeing here initially though is with FSR enabled and frame gen, and you will notice some strange effects on the screen generated by the frame generation, where we get some banding lines and still only pushing around 30 frames per second. That is after around 10 to 15 minutes of compiling shaders though, so be warned, if you restart this you will be stuck on this screen for up to 15 minutes at a time, and it's really not that fun. Overall though, FSR 3 is still not performing the way that we would like it to, even with the AMD latest drivers on the ROG Ally, but XeSS is freeing up that GPU by utilizing the CPU a little bit more, which you'll see if you look at the background here at the fuzziness and also those frames per second. If we keep the medium here with no motion blur, with low depth of field, and change XeSS to balanced rather than FSR, keeping that frame generation on, you'll notice just how things smooth out. This is running at 900p and only at 25 watts, so I didn't have the power in for the extra 5 watts to push it to 30, which will smooth things out even more. And you'll see that that frame generation kicks in much more often, pushing us over the 50 frames per second mark a lot of the time. This is really apparent when we are in combat and moving around. For some reason, going into the menus does cap it at 30 frames per second, which is where those big dips are. But for the game section, most of the time we are actually going to get over 60 frames per second, thanks to that frame generation. But with the XeSS, it's looking very smooth, and we don't even have any input latency delay either. I did have some issues with the controller working initially on this, and after plugging in an Xbox controller, the local controller kicked back in, and I haven't had any problems since. So if you do have an issue with that, then it's worth a try. This is also the Steam version, although there has been a lot less issues with the Xbox Game Pass version, so you'll get around the same performance and hopefully less controller issues with that as well. This was also added to Xbox Cloud, and I'm going to show you some footage of that here and also compare it against the local footage. I'm actually very impressed with the Xbox Cloud gaming version of this. Normally the pixelation is absolutely horrendous on Xbox Cloud, but this has been very smooth. There's some major graphical differences between the console version and the PC version though, which you'll see as we come side by side, but overall it is looking spectacularly good on the Ally, which is very close to, if not slightly better than it looking locally on the color front. But when we actually put them side by side, you actually notice quite a lot of difference on that quality front. One is we do get some major lighting differences, but look at the detail of the fence panels and the grass as we come out here. Real big difference with the PC version carrying much more details. Although we are getting more of those kind of reflection detail on the Xbox Cloud version, we also do get some strange artifacting if you look around the left hand on the Xbox Cloud side there, and we get a massive loss of detail on a lot of the paneling as well, even though the Ally X is only at medium settings. So overall, console version does run smoothly, but definitely loses quite a lot of that detail. Overall, I'm very happy with the way that this is running on the ROG Ally X locally, and you are going to be able to play through this very happily if you want to. Let us know if you're going to be diving into Stalker 2 on the Ally, and whether you're going to be playing it on Steam or via Xbox Game Pass. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.